I cannot. Hiya, Temperance Love. Oh, Ellie, honest to God. Hiya, Fibro Warrior. Welcome in, darling. Thank you, Julie. Afternoon, Butterfly. I know. I can't wait for the band to come in. Thank you, Kaz. Hiya, Glinda. Do you know what? I cannot sit here. Thank you, Nix. Thank you, Amy. And say nothing about the BS that Orion's come out with today. Crafty, no, this is about Orion. Hiya, Hayley. Hi, thank you, Tanya. Talking about having involuntary stims. Oh, it's just, oh, God. You can't. Where do I start? So I thought we would have. Hiya, Michelle. I thought we'd have just a little lesson for Orion on how I know you're lying, Orion. Because it's doing my head in. And it's doing my head in to the point where I've got people. I'm good, Paula. How are you, love? I know, Merv. I know. Seriously. Thank you, T. Just wow. Just wow. Oh, 100% the mouth's moving. Oh, Crafty, thank you. The thing is, hiya, Tanya, he's upsetting so many communities. Oh, well, if he triggers you, you don't want to be in here because I'm about to trigger him. I can't. I can't do it anymore. Thank you, Only Me. Thank you, Wisps. Hiya, Blue. You all right, doll? Oh, I saw that, Glinda. Yeah, I saw the ED. Let me tell you something, Orion, right? I'll tell you what you want. I saw you, I just need my ADHD diagnosis and I'm set for life. Hiya, Kaz. Oh, can you hear him, Blue, honestly? And I'll be set. I'll be set for life. When somebody said, why do you want these diagnoses? And you said it's to explain so I can understand. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's got fuck all to do with you understanding anything and everything to do with you wanting an excuse. Oh, I know, Kaz, honestly. Thank you, Harlot Love. It's got everything to do with you wanting an excuse for your behaviour, and I am so over it today. I couldn't even wait till my normal time to come on. I'm so over it. So I do hope that you are watching this, or at least you catch up with this later. Because I'm about to educate you, right? Which is nigh on impossible because you think you know everything and you don't. And the more you talk about this stuff, the less educated you appear. Right? So, number one, you want the diagnosis to be able to excuse your behaviour, not explain it. Let's get it right, shall we? It's to excuse your behaviour. Thank you, EJR. I'm so sorry, Gemma. I'm so sorry. Right? You want to excuse your behaviour, not explain it. That's number one. Right? So don't even. Don't even. So now I'm going to tell you every way in which you've contradicted yourself. Hi, Fiona. And how you don't have what you say you have. Right? So the autism diagnosis. You don't have an autistic diagnosis. You don't have it. Thank you, Fiona. We've already proved you don't have it. Okay? And you're not clever enough to know to lie productively enough to cover your own tracks. Thank you, Alex. To cover your own tracks, right? The reason I'm on early, I've got an ADHD stepchild. Okay? So I know all about stimming. Hiya, Inked. You all right? Hiya, Yogi. Thank you, doll. I know all about stimming, right? Let me tell you. Neurotypical people stim, right? So if you've ever bounced your foot, if you've ever tapped something, if you've ever switched your ballpoint pen on and off, if you've ever played with your hair, if you've ever tapped your coffee mug or your teacup, that is all stimming, right? Oh, bless you, darling. Thank you, Harriet, love. That's all stimming. So neurotypical people can stop stimming, right? It's also usually unconscious. You don't... Hiya, Coco, darling. It's normally unconscious. So you don't know you're doing it. And it's a self-regulatory thing. It's an emotional regulation, right? So you can... with some people, it helps with concentration, but it self-regulates you. And when you stim, or you're watching someone stim, you can see it working. Afternoon, Flower. You can see it regulating the behaviour, that it's there to regulate, right? Neurotypical people can suppress a stim. Not necessarily, thank you, Coco, darling, not necessarily neurodivergent, right? Because when I point it out to my stepchild that they're doing it, they go, oh, didn't know I was doing it. Hi, Michelle. So that's a stim. A tic is totally effing different. A tic is involuntary, right? That means you cannot help it, Orion. Now, you said, I can suppress the stim. Let me tell you what suppressing a stim does to a neurodivergent person, if they are able to suppress a stim, right? It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Thank you, Evie. Right? And normally, they are so worn out by it. Oh, don't get me started, Alex. Thank you, Tups. Thank you for the treasure box, Miss Dillygaff. I hope you're okay, lovely. You are asked, as I was reliably informed by somebody whose family member has Tourette's, you are asked in the clinic to suppress your tics. And it can be done for a very short period of time. But it will come back tenfold. Right? Because it's involuntary. So let's talk about what you do. This is what you do. Observed behaviour of yours, Orion. You, when you squeak, you said it, go on Peekaboo's page or Rebecca FYP Chaos and you'll hear yourself say it. You squeak, but it's involuntary. But then you call it a stim. The three things cannot be the same. They cannot be the same. You cannot involuntarily stim. You can unconsciously stim, but not involuntarily stim, right? So what you're trying to pass off, hi Yippee, what you're trying to pass off as a stim, you're actually saying is a tic. Thank you, Breezeby. So you're saying to people, oh, I don't call it tics out of respect for the Tourette's community. Bullshit. Hi, Hiya, Breezeby. Right? You are deliberately calling it a stim and not understanding what the hell a stim is. Precisely that, Sarah. Precisely that. So when you're doing your little squeak, which you said, hiya Queen, which you said you can't control, and your little neck jut, you stick your chin out, right? That presents as a tick. Do you understand? No, I know, source code. That presents as a tick. Right? Now, you say, thank you, Coco, darling. You say that your squeak is involuntary, but it's a stim. Again, those two things can't be the same. But let's just say you're stimming because you're self-regulating your emotion. Thank you, Yogi. Thank you, Emily. If you were stimming to self-regulate your emotion, first of all, there'd have to be an emotion there, not you just sitting randomly on the edge of your bed or wherever the hell you are, right? Thank you, Bambi. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Cheryl. You wouldn't stim for no reason. Do you understand? It wouldn't happen. Oh, absolutely, Kaz. Absolutely. So what you're presenting with is a tick. The squeak and the chin jutting is you allegedly ticking. But calling it, thank you, Rufus, calling it a stim to keep the Tourette's community off your back. That's what that is. So I'm going to call BS on you having stims or having that particular stim, the squeak, and having ticks entirely. Now, we've all seen an angry Orion. Where are your stims then? Thank you, Queen. Because if you were stimming, which is what you claim you're doing, when you're really angry, you would stim more to self-regulate your emotions. Emotional regulation, Orion, is what stimming is. Thank you, Shorty. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Bambi. I did, yeah. So why don't you do it more when you're angry? Or more when you're happy? Or more when you're excited? You don't. You do it randomly. And I'll tell you something else that you can't do. What you can do. Stims are unconscious. You know when a tick is coming. So, you know, I've watched so many people with Tourette's. You know when it's coming. Loads of mods in here. Okay? So, you sitting there saying, it just happens. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So, thank you, Paula. You would be ticking involuntarily all the time. But you're calling... Exactly. Never happens on a night out. Thank you, Irish. Never happens on a night out. Never happens on a night out. Never happens when you're going shopping. Never happened when you were in the chemist allegedly going to get your hormones. Didn't happen when you realised you weren't getting your hormones. Never happens. So what you're doing is you're sitting there telling people that you involuntarily stim. And that's what the squeak is. And you do it all the time. Thank you, Shrimpy. Hi, bad luck. You all right, darling? And you do it all the time. Well, I've got ER. You don't do it all the time. Hiya, Carrie. You all right, love? You don't do it all the time. At all. Squeaks for attention. Yep, didn't happen in Primark. Doesn't happen when you're under any sort of emotional response, be it happy or sad. Thank you, Paula. I'm all right, Carrie, thank you. I'm just angry. So it doesn't happen when you're under any kind of emotional response. You don't emotionally regulate anyway. You don't emotionally, absolutely, Evie. Well, potentially, Evie. I can't say that. I don't know, to be fair. Thank you, Iris. Thank you, Dawn. Oh, South Park, absolutely. So you don't use stimming to emotionally regulate yourself. That's number one, which is what stimming is, which is what you're calling the squeaks. If you were squeaking to emotionally regulate yourself, we'd see the regulation happen. Okay? Neurotypical people can suppress stimming. Not a problem. We just stop. Hi, Kim. Yes, I have seen Dr. Helen Weberly. Addressing Orion, essentially, yes. Right? So you don't do that. Tics are involuntary. They can be suppressed for a very short amount of time, but the payoff is horrendous. Thank you, Irish Marie. The payoff is horrendous because they come back with force. And a lot of people with Tourette's will tell you suppressing tics hurts. Because it's like an explosion of energy that has to go somewhere. Right? Which is not what your pathetic squeak and chin jot is. Thank you, Paula. Yeah? You said it's involuntary. So you don't know when it's going to happen. Is that what you're trying to say? So in every way possible, you are trying to tell people you've got tics without saying you've got tics. Thank you, Mrs. B. 100%, Vic. Thank you, Anne-Marie. I am, Louis. I am today because I'm so angry. Sorry, I've got an ADHD stepchild and I have friends who have members of their family with Tourette's. Hey, Roxy. They have members of their family with Tourette's. And the damage it's done... thank you, Irish, darling. The damage it's done and the anger that is being felt in that community today, I've just got the tip of the iceberg with. Tip of the iceberg. Thank you, Mina, love. And you sit there. You sit there taking the absolute... Thank you, Brenda. Afternoon, Joanne. Autism and ADHD, Chloe. You sit there taking the absolute mick out of a community that really bloody struggles. Really struggles. You don't know what it's like to live with Tourette's or live with someone with Tourette's, right? You have no idea what that's like. Afternoon, Daisy. Exactly, Beck. Oh, bless her, Hayley Ann. Oh, sweetie. You don't care what community you damage. You want a list of excuses for your behaviour, not explanations. You want people to diagnose you with things or believe that you've been diagnosed with things. Thank you, Tori. Because you want excuses for your behaviour, not an explanation. Don't you dare sit there on your live saying to people, you just want to be able to explain your behaviour, understand your behaviour. No, you don't. You want to excuse your behaviour. That's the only thing you want. It's the only thing you want. And there are things that explain your behaviour already. You're a compulsive pathological liar. That's one. You have narcissistic traits. That's two. Hiya, Vicky. Hi, Josie. Oh, honest to God. You're performative. You're performative in what you do. Everything you do is performative and it's calculated. Right? Even down to, you can call me a liar, I don't care. No, you don't care. You genuinely don't care. That's possibly the only line you said that I believe. You don't care at all. You don't care what you do to people's communities. Thank you, Josie. Oh, Donna, do you think? Oh, karma is, it's happening. Trust me, it's happening. Force yourself to feed your cat. No motivation. That'll be the rugs, Orion. That will be the rug use, yes? And the come down. That's the come down. You're rubbing your hand up your nose because of the rug use. Yeah? I've relapsed. No, you have to stop to relapse. Hiya, Kate, love. You have to stop to relapse, all right? So don't be using that as a pity party. I cannot wait for the law to come into force where, and I don't know how they're going to police this, under 16s can't have social media, because that's 80% of your audience gone. 80% gone. And I hope they police it. Thank you, Kaza. And I also hope that it makes platforms like this one more proactive when people report that there are minors in your chat. Because it will be against the law. I know, Blue, we'll have to, we'll have to keep on it. Hiya, Budgeted. You all right, darling? Right. So you mentioned the other day that you think you might have an ED. Dear God. And now somebody says DID in the chat. You were going for a DID. Right. Here's a diagnosis for you. I've got an acronym for you. LIAR. That's you. You have LIAR. I totally agree with that, Sarah. I totally agree with you. I've got mine on all the time. I went into my settings and did it. Hiya, Rants. Thank you, darling. I went into my settings and put it on 18 plus because there were 2 occasions I forgot to set it in my live. Hiya, Andy. So I put it on in my actual account settings. So now it's 18 plus all the time. You all right, darling? Thank you, Kaz. A severe case of liar, yeah. Kind of another Kirsten. As somebody who doesn't watch Kirsten, can I just say, I can't compare Kirsten and Orion because I don't watch Kirsten. However, what I will say with Orion is Orion has, for some reason, got this appeal to minors and will sit and tell, like, I sat and heard you. What did you say the other day? That you'd had a routine blood test for the big C. Are you okay? Are you all right? There's no such bloody thing as a routine blood test for the big C. You get tested for it for a feckin' reason, you absolute idiot. Right? How dare you? You don't routinely get tested. Oh, what the fuck? Seriously. You were anemic, I believe. Hiya, Luke. You were anemic, I believe. They would not test you for the big C off the back of an anemic test. They treat you for anemia. Routine tests pick it up, but you don't have a routine test. Hi, Jules. Oh, Coco, seriously. This is what some days I can listen and it not penetrate. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I hear what you're saying. Hi, Nicola. I hear what you're saying, Sam. I hear what you're saying. I really do, right? And I have thought about this. Is there a mental health condition? It is complex. I think it is complex. So Orion believes the world owes him a living, okay? Orion believes that if he says things enough, it's true. So a couple of weeks ago, we had celebrities were unfollowing me because I had an autism diagnosis. And then yesterday and today and the day before, Orion believes celebrities are the only people he should be hanging out with. Right? Because Orion can't keep in his head straight what we said yesterday compared to what he says today. Is that a mental health condition? I don't know, is the honest truth. I don't know. Do I think Orion needs help? Absolutely. Do I think that Orion needs to come off social media in order to get that help? Hell yes. Because whilst Orion is on social media peddling this bullshit, he is hurting communities left, right and centre. And the ultimate person that's going to end up hurt the most is him. Thank you, Annie. It's him. Right? Because you're going to end up in one or two places, Orion. And I'm not going to say what they are because I think you can probably work it out. But somebody is going to come across you that you've offended. And when I say offended, I don't mean annoyed. I mean truly, truly angered. Thank you, Debs. And it's not going to end well for either person. You have got, thank you, Borderline, you have got to stop peddling this crap. You really do. You absolutely do. It is dangerous, the stuff that you say. Thank you, Walking Amethyst. Thank you, Andy. It really is dangerous. So you sitting there saying, I stim, and it's involuntary. Right there, you contradict yourself. Right? You stim and it's unconscious. Yes. Involuntary. No. Thank you, Says. Words matter, Orion. They matter. So you can't come on later and say, oh, well, I meant unconscious, not involuntary. No, you didn't. And shall I tell you how I know you didn't? Because you don't understand what the hell you're talking about in the first place. Because if these things were actually true to you, thank you, Annie, and actually you owned them because they were happening to you, you'd know exactly what you were talking about. Do you know that? Most people with most conditions know more about their condition than they do to the medical person they're talking to. Do you understand? I have a medical condition that's it's not rare, but it's not talked about very often. And I have to explain it to medical professionals because you get to know what conditions you have and you get to know them extremely well and you get to know how they affect you. Right? So you don't accidentally use the wrong words when describing. You're very, very careful with the words you use. The vocabulary you use matters because you have to be able to get it across to the person you're communicating it to. So you sitting there saying later, oh, well, I meant subconscious, not involuntary. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You see, if you had these conditions, your wording would be not perfect, but it would be very, very careful. Right? Very careful. Yeah, throwing the buzzwords around doesn't do anything. Does nothing. And you do throw them around. Because you tested out chronic the other week, didn't you, before you were moved? You tested out chronic. Bless you, darling. Sorry, just going back to read the comments. Don't you, with 2 dots? You absolutely do. Do you know, down to type 1 diabetes, which is quite a well-known condition, type 1 diabetics still have to explain it to their healthcare providers because it affects them differently. Hi, Aidan. Thank you, Ellie. Right? So don't sit there and say, oh, well, I didn't explain it properly. You would. You genuinely would. Oh, he hasn't got a clue what chronic is. No clue at all what chronic is. See, I don't believe he's doxing himself, is my opinion. And I'll tell you why I don't believe he's doxing himself, right? Because I think he's in Last Chance Saloon. This is my opinion. I haven't got any basis for this. Yeah? Totally agree with you, Saz, right? I think Orion is in Last Chance Saloon. I think he's been told under no circumstances to dox where he is, otherwise he's going to have nowhere to go. Right? I think he's been told that if he doxes where he is, that's it, he's out. And they will not house him again. That is why he is not singing where he is. Because he's been told if he sings and upsets the neighbours, he's gone. And they will close the door on offering any further anywhere to go. Yeah, but he's not singing, is he? I have exactly not belting. I have seen the Gender GP video, and the fact that she felt compelled to make it says an awful lot. Exactly, the amount of singing is exactly that. It's not nearly as bad. So I think he's on his last chance. I really do. I didn't know who she was, I'm not going to lie. I don't know whether she still works for Gender GP, in fact. Correct. Thank you, Amber. I think if he doesn't stop talking about them, they will, yeah. I think they'll take him to court for... There's something you can take them to court for, which is not defamation, but it is... there's a lower threshold of evidence. And what they can do is get an injunction slapped on him. Which would mean he would not be allowed to talk about... No, it's not malicious comms, it's something else, but it's civil. But they would slap an injunction on him to stop him mentioning Gender GP. And if he continued to mention Gender GP, it would then become criminal. Take care, Catherine, love. It would then become criminal. Because if you break an injunction, that's a criminal case. Which I would love for him, to be fair, not gonna lie. Because has he mentioned Gender GP in the last 24 hours? Because I think there is a reason Dr. Webley has, it is early for me. That's the one says, I think that's it. I think there is a reason that Dr. Is it Webley or Weatherly has come out and spoken today. I know, they had it removed, didn't they, South Park? Yeah. It's why NHS wouldn't NHS refused to do shared care with them. Webley, thank you. I think that's why Helen Webley has spoken today, because I think Orion has been put on notice. Thank you, Kira. Well, he was put on notice. He was told in an email, stop it, and then chose not to. You know, hello? Anyone home? Because they're a big company. You're nothing to them, Orion. They'll put you in court. They don't care. Oh, no. Seriously, South Park. Oh, I'm so sorry. A surgery referral with Gender GP. I hope you got sorted. I hope you got sorted, lovely, and got what you needed. I would totally agree with you, Helen. Thank you, Kira, for the glasses. I am fed up. Somebody else. Oh, bless you, darling. You had the referral in 2019 and now you're waiting on the NHS, for goodness sake. Thank you, Coops. Oh, I hope it happens quickly for you. I really do. Are you EJR? How long have you been waiting, lovely? The thing is, this is the reason, right? In my opinion, this is the reason Orion went for Gender GP, because you don't need a gender dysphoria diagnosis. You can self-determine with Gender GP, right? So you can say you have the dysphoria, and then you can proceed. As long as you pay, you then proceed along the lines I've told you all before. You can get your 3 months prescription, and then the prescription locks, and you have to get a blood test, etc., etc. Oh, Annie, that's shocking. No, Angela, of course not. Yeah, you'll get your 3 month supply, but the 3 month supply, let me tell you, is such a low dose that it won't have any external change. There's no external change, and there's no permanent change from taking those hormones for 90 days. If he was to stop taking those hormones at 90 days, right, they would, his hormones would just return to normal. So there'd be no lasting change, no lasting damage, but they wouldn't release any more hormones unless there was a blood test result, which would be to check liver function, right? So here's what I think. 99% of other places, regardless of whether they're private or not, require a gender dysphoria diagnosis, which to me is baseline. It's basic, right? It's also not just a chat. You have to be referred. So you said, Orion, that your doctor won't refer you. Again, I call bullshit. If you're saying your doctor won't refer you to get a gender dysphoria diagnosis, change your doctor, go and see a different doctor in the practice, right? If you had gender dysphoria, which, let's face it, you don't, but if you had it, that one doctor saying I'm not referring you would not stop you. It wouldn't stop you. You would go to see a different doctor. So I know, Kazzy, I know. You go and see a different doctor, right? Here's why you won't get a gender dysphoria diagnosis. Because you haven't got it. Correct, Naomi. Let me pin that. Afternoon, Diane, love. And so many people missed that. Thank you, Diane. So many people missed that. It was a throwaway comment when he was in the previous accommodation. And so many people missed when he said it. And I know it's been screen recorded. I failed the mental health assessment. Yeah. 100%. Hiya, Sabrina, love. He absolutely said that. Yeah, he was sat at the table. He was, I don't know what he was doing, whether it was makeup or singing, one or the other, and that's what he said. So you will not get a gender dysphoria diagnosis, which automatically locks you off from everything else. No other doors will open for you. None at all. No worries, Vic. Thank you for coming in, darling. What reasons would they use to say you failed the mental health assessment? I can't answer that. What I can tell you is, having spoken to many trans people, having had a trans family member, having watched a lot of podcasts, listened to podcasts, watched a lot on YouTube, the gender dysphoria diagnosis is key to unlocking gender affirming care, right? But let me tell you what people with gender dysphoria don't do as a rule. They don't look in the mirror and think they look gorgeous. They don't sit there online pouting, saying it's giving, right? Most people with gender dysphoria absolutely cannot stand the body that they're in, however it looks, whether they pass as the gender they want to be or whether they don't. Until they're on gender affirming care, they loathe the body they were born with, right? So even if they look in a mirror and, you know, sometimes you can't tell until someone speaks, there'll be something about themselves because they are so hypercritical of the way that they are presenting and the way they look and feel, that they would not sit there and say, God, I look hot. Those words would not come out of somebody's mouth with genuine gender dysphoria. Doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, right? And people who are trans generally want to get on with their lives. They don't want any attention. They don't want any special treatment. They just want to do what the rest of us do and live our lives. Yeah? They don't go out of their way to, like most people in society, don't go out of their way to get attention. They don't sit there on a night out when they're absolutely bladdered saying, I'm trans. No. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. So for them to not pass the, thank you, Annie, for them to not pass the gender dysphoria test, or even pass the test to go for the assessment. Hi, Essex. You all right, darling? Thank you, Mary Poppins. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So, Orion, that's why, hiya, Bex, I call you Orion. Thank you, Jane. Because you have done nothing to transition. You have had money, forget the 250k plus money that you've had in order to transition. You have, thank you, Halloween Queen, you've had money to transition in fits and starts the whole time you've been on this app. I'm just angry, Bex. Thank you, Aidan. You've had money to transition on this app in fits and starts. You did a GoFundMe. You got a load of gifts to do vocal surgery. You said on a live that you were going to go and book your vocal surgery straight away. You didn't do it. Right? And somebody with true dysmorphia would have booked that vocal surgery in a heartbeat. You said that 250k plus went on living. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you that if you were a true trans woman, that money would have kept you in a box on beans on toast whilst you paid for your transition. You would have gone without. You said it went on accommodation, food, and social transitioning, let me tell you. Thank you, Stardew. Thank you, Too Good. Let me tell you, you would not have spent a penny on social transitioning if you had had the money. You would have spent it on actually transitioning. You would have started your journey to actually transition. Cassie. Oh, there are singers out there that have to have vocal surgery, Orion. Actual singers, you know. So if you'd had the money, which you did, you'd have spent it on actually transitioning, not socially transitioning. So don't sit there and tell me you got a vintage Gucci bag because it helped you feel like you were socially transitioning. You are absolutely talking horse manure at this point. Right? And I don't care if people come for me. I don't care if you're part of the little hate group at the moment who think that everything I said is I'm bullying Orion. Okay, I don't care. If that's what you want to think, you think that. %, Jay. 100%. Orion would be on, I would then call them her way to being a trans woman, right? But you are not trans. Thank you, Sarah. You are not trans. You diss the trans community every time you say that word. You make life harder, thank you, Michelle, for the trans community every time you say that word. Hi, you beautiful stranger. You all right, darling? Every time you say that word, you harm the trans community. Hi, Stuart, love. Oh, I know. I know. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you, Savage, love. Yeah, you harm the trans community. Every single time you say I'm trans. You harm the autistic community every time you say I'm autistic. The ADHD community. The ED community. The big C survivors or going through it community. Oh, I know. You harm every single community. So if people are coming after me, thank you, Savage, darling, and calling me a bully for bringing this out, screw you is all I've got to say. Because this person, hiya Lego, that you're supporting, because let's face it, if you're against me for what I'm saying, then on some level you've got to be supporting Orion, right? There's something wrong with you, not with me, okay? Hello, Amy. Thank you, Lego, love. Oh, Kira. Do you know what? This is the thing. This is why I get so angry. This is why I get so angry. Oh, I get angry because I get called all the names under the sun. Hi, Lisa, love. Thank you, too good. I get called all the names under the sun, right? I get dragged from pillar to post. I get, thank you, Lego. I get all sorts of things. There's a fake account going around on me at the moment, I tell you. Oh, bless your source code. I bet they were, Debs. Because it apparently I'm just this absolutely horrendous person, okay, which is fine, whatever you want to think. But the fact that when I call Orion out, I call Orion out with facts and I call Orion out with receipts. I've got receipts, right? I don't just come on and say this stuff to incite any kind of hate on Orion. Orion does that to himself by saying he's part of all these communities he's not a part of. So you sitting there, Orion, saying you have an ED. I've raised daughters. One daughter knew the calorific content of a sunflower seed. They are that. Thank you, Lisa. Knew the calorific content of everything she ate. Everything, right? Would talk about calorie deficits, etc. Thank you, Lisa. Right? You talk about the fact that you think you might have an ED. Oh, Mary Poppins, tell me about it. That's all right, Annie. I'm not going to go on about it. I'm not going to go on about it, darling. So the communities that you've upset, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Signal. Communities that you've upset, currently, as it stands in the last 24 hours, are the Tourette's community, right, and the ADHD community, right? You do not have Tourette's, ergo, you do not have tics. What you're presenting are tics if they actually were. But you're calling them stims so that the Tourette's Society doesn't come across, Tourette's community doesn't come to you and say anything. Well, I am calling for every member of the Tourette's Society, Tourette's community. Thank you, Lisa. Right? If you are in the Tourette's community, I want you to go and watch Orion, especially on over the last 24 to 36 hours. And look at Peekaboo's page, Rebecca FYP Chaos's page. Thank you, Lego. Bandbird, thank you, Lisa. Bandbird's page. And look at the alleged tics. Thank you, Paula, love. Thank you, Ellie. Let me pin you. There you go. Thank you, Lego. Oh, good God. Hiya, Trinity, love. Last night was at karaoke and said, thank you, Trinity. If you're not following Ellie, please follow Ellie. She does a good... I called you she, though. I don't know whether... Sorry. Ellie runs a very good FYP page. Very on it. Yeah. So please check Ellie out and pop her a follow. Hang on a minute. Oh, mods block. Just straight block. I can't be asked. Oh, Odin's girl. Do you know what? It's very inappropriate what Orion is saying. It's highly inappropriate. Oh, really? I'll have to go and see that. So what you're trying to pass off of stims is actually presenting as tics, but you're calling them stims because you don't want to get the backlash from the Tourette's community that you had last time. Right? We all remember that lovely lady. Thank you, Pete. That lovely lady whose daughter, I think at the time, was coming up to 16. Hiya, Carrie. Thank you, Lego. Was coming up to 16 and was dealing with Tourette's, right? You don't want that level of scrutiny. So you are calling your presenting as tics, you're calling them stims. Oh, I hope so. Jodie Dyer. I will be unboxing her. You don't want that level of scrutiny again. Right, so you're calling them stims. So now you're upsetting everybody who stims because they're not stims. Yeah, of course, Carrie. Inbox me, love. They're not stims. What you're presenting as stims are not stims, right? Stims are emotional regulatory behaviours. Neurotypical people do them and neurodivergent people do them. Right? It's playing with your hair, it's clicking your fingers, it's tapping your coffee mug, it's putting your pen on and off, it's all sorts of stuff, right? And they're unconscious. Oh, same. I'm forever doing it. Exactly, Minxie. Everybody's different. Thank you, Jem. Everybody's different. Neurotypical people stim, so do neurodivergent people. Neurotypical people can switch off stimming. We can stop, right? Because we have that. Neurodivergent people quite often don't know they're doing it. They do it and they don't know they're doing it. If you're a neurotypical person living with a neurodivergent person who stims, it's quite annoying. Good. That's it, 5th chapter. That's it. Right? Some people's stims aren't good. I had a friend whose stimming was to pull out the hairs of their eyebrows, which has got another name for it, but that was emotional regulation, right? So, stimming is unconscious, not involuntary. Is that what you said, Orion? That you squeak involuntarily? Wrong. Thank you, Temperance. Wrong. Stimming is not involuntary. Afternoon, Carlene. You all right, love? Not involuntary. Thank you, Finley. It depends. Are they neurodivergent, Shorty? Because neurodivergent people have a lot more trouble controlling stimming than neurotypical people. So, Carlene, Orion has said that the squeaks that he does are involuntary, but that he's stimming. Right? Stimming is a form of self-regulation. So if you're stimming, it's normally because you are trying to... Oh, really? Already backtracking, Daisy. Wow. You are self-regulating, self-soothing, doing whatever. Normally, you don't know you're doing it. It's unconscious. You just do it. It's your brain's way of dealing with stuff. Brains are very, very amazing, but also highly annoying when they don't cooperate, as is in the case of tics. Tics, it's not an acronym, it's a French word meaning spasm or twitch, right? It's involuntary. And what you're presenting as a stim, Orion, is a tic. Let's get it straight, right? The squeaks that you say, I don't know. They just happen. No. Tics don't just happen. Tics don't just happen. Someone with Tourette's know they're going to tic, and they can't stop it. That's what makes it one of the most difficult conditions to live with. Yeah? Because they know it's coming and they can't stop it. And Tourette's is not just about swearing or making inappropriate sounds, or it's a lot of different things. If you go on Ellie One's page, Ellie, if you're still in here, can you just make yourself known so that with 2 dots can see? But you're right, because here's the thing. Thank you. Who's that? All right, Ellie. Who did that then? Thank you, Lisa. If you have tics, they happen. They happen. So at any point, you would be ticking. Thank you, 5th chapter. If you were stimming, exactly, Max. If you were stimming, i.e. self-soothing, self-regulating, whatever you want to call it. Oh, bless her. Oh, soul searcher, don't. Goes right through me. Thank you, Ellie. If you're self-soothing, it would happen at times of heightened emotion. So it could be stressful, you could be angry, you could be excited. That squeak would happen. That squeak and that chin jut that you do is presenting as a tic, not a stim. Do you understand? Hiya, Faye. And because it's presenting as a tic and not a stim, what you're telling people is that that's a stim and not a tic. When we all know, thank you, Faye, that that's a lie. So you're being very careful. Thank you, Larissa. You're being very careful to tell people that you don't have Tourette's or you don't have tics. But what you're doing is stimming. It's not. Thank you, Ellie. It's not. Exactly, Faye. I don't know whether I'm making this clear or not. I know exactly what I'm trying to say. If that squeak was a stim, it would happen when you were in emotional distress or heightened emotion. It doesn't, right? And it doesn't. Thank you, Paula. Oh, bless you, Lisa. Take care. And we've all seen you in various states. Thank you, Mr. Legaff. Various states, right? Of heightened emotion. And it hasn't happened. Thank you, Ali. It hasn't happened. So now you're doing it. What's your reason for doing it more now? That's what I want to know, because there's always a reason with you. Always a reason. And you sat on a live, I don't know whether it was today or yesterday, and said, I just need the ADHD diagnosis. And then I would be, and then I'll be sorted. I've lost the plot. You're right, darling. Then I'll be sorted. And when someone said, why would you want those diagnoses? For an explanation. No, you don't. Thank you, lost the plot. No, you don't. I did, Soph, yes. You don't want diagnosis to explain your behaviour. You want diagnoses to excuse your behaviour. Totally different. And that's why you're going so hard after these diagnoses. Hiya, Pickety. I don't know, about an hour, I think. Yeah. You want to excuse your behaviour, not explain it. 100%. Incredibly infuriating. You have gone beyond hurting the trans community. You are hurting every community you're associating yourself dishonestly with. And I will caveat it with saying dishonestly. Do you know what? I don't think there's going to be I don't think you're going to get PIP anytime soon. Let me tell you. Same, Gemma. My stepchild is ADHD. Not an excuse at all. Hi, Scottish Queen. You all right, darling? Blame CLA last night for the... Oh, my God. The best thing you could do, Orion, right? And this is the best thing for you, okay? And it's what I would advise any of my kids, if they ever behaved like you, which they wouldn't, but if they ever had behaved... I know, source code. is to get yourself offline. Come off social media. Forget the fact that that's where you earn your money, right? Come off social media and get your shit together. Get yourself sorted out. Get yourself sorted out and stop affecting all these communities. How long are you going to be on social media saying the same stuff? Right? You're 22 now. You've been saying this stuff since you were 18. Okay? And it's still not working. We're 4 years in. Thank you, TT. We're 4 years in. Okay? And it's becoming increasingly desperate. You're grabbing at increasingly desperate things. Right? What are you going to say when you turn 26, 27, 28, 29 and you're still on here and you're still saying the same crap and you're still in the same situation? Being housed somewhere because you can't afford to get yourself housed, and then sitting there thinking that you have this, I need to be behaving myself, I need to distance myself, I'm getting brand deals. You're fooling no one. Seriously, you are fooling nobody. No brand is coming near you. What brand deals? That's absolute BS. No brand deals are coming near you. 100% source code. Yeah. Right? Most people with disabilities work or have at some point worked. Hiya, Thomas. Or would love to work. And that's missing in you. You want to be a celebrity without the work. Do you think people who are celebrities, right, just suddenly became one overnight? 9 times out of 10, they've put in the work. Do you understand? They've either gone to some sort of school, drama school, or they've performed in dives. Thank you, Lindsay. Yeah? Oh, I know, Living Duck Girl. I'm so sorry, love. They didn't just become celebrities, right? It didn't just happen. Bless you. Every single child of mine works and has worked since they were between 17 and 21, depending on where they were in the education system. right? And they're all starting to reap the benefits of that hard work, because now 4 of them own houses. So do not sit there and demand for free what most people have to work for. You are entitled in this world to nothing. Nothing. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. You have to earn what you have. Thank you, Living Dead Girl. Oh, listen, I've got 6 and they're all working. Every single one of them is working. Yeah? Bless you, Sam. You have got people who are working jobs they hate simply to put a roof over their head with the actual conditions you lie about, who are paying for you to sit where you're sitting with an entitled broom up your ass, expecting the world to owe you a favour and expecting to be able to hang out with celebrities and tell people you're getting brand deals. You are getting nothing. No brand will touch you. Your digital footprint is too big. Hi, you borderline. I'm good. It's too big. It follows you everywhere. When you have got the GP who was connected with Gender GP coming on to talk about you, let's have it straight, to talk about you, and then tell me you getting brand deals. No, you're not. You're not getting a brand deal. Right? From anywhere. And that's without awareness doing anything, because you've already done it. You have already done it. Free samples from TikTok shop are not brand deals. Do you understand? A brand deal involves a contract, one you haven't signed, right? You're the face of or the voice of. That's what a brand deal is. Bless you, Sam. I hope you're doing okay, darling. That's a brand deal. Okay? You have places that won't touch you, want nothing to do with you, will put out a social media statement saying, we are not connected with this individual. This is nothing to do with us. That's like the opposite of a brand deal. That's brands going, thank you, Susan. No, we don't do that. I have, Angel. No, we're not associated with this person. So don't sit there and tell people you've got brand deals. Don't sit there and say, I should be at celebrity functions. I want to go to celebrity this, that, and the other. Hiya, Susan. And then in the next breath say that you've been unfollowed by celebrities because you've been diagnosed as autistic. That's BS. That is BS. If anyone's unfollowed you since you've come out as autistic, it's because they've realised your autistic diagnosis is bullshit. Oh, I know. Good, Sam. Good. This is the thing. This is we see you. Hello. And this is why awareness won't stop on you until you come off social media. It's really simple. It won't stop. Because you are trying to convince young people. Oh, I know, Yogi. You're trying to convince young people that you are the big I am and you're not. Right? I have. I've just had some water. Oh, Kick is onto him. Kick is onto him. Somebody put a complaint into Kick. And they emailed him about the way he was behaving. So you're going to have to come up with some sort of life plan between now and this time next year, because in the next 12 months, I totally agree with you, Hannah, between now and the next 12 months, you are going to be, thank you, Susan, love, you are going to find out what it's like to lose 2/3 of your audience, which is 2/3 of your gifters. Oh, Luke, no. Seriously. It's one of the worst apps for, I will do some. Thank you. It's one of the worst apps for G rumours of all varieties. Absolutely horrendous. Do you have those details? Thank you, Susan, darling. Living Dead Girl, do you have them? Because I can pass them on to awareness members and they can see what they can do with them. Thank you. It's a lot worrying. Thank you, Susan. Oh, I can't. Source code. I can't with it. That's brilliant, Faye, honestly. Oh, I'll have a look, Danielle. I'll get someone to have a look. But yeah, you're going to have to rethink the way that you operate, Orion, because you're going to lose your audience. You're going to lose a lot of your audience, and you're going to lose a lot of your gifters. So then what? What is it going to take for you to go, do you know what? I need to come off here and get my shit together and sort myself out. What's it going to take? Is it going to take you losing your audience or the majority of your audience? Is it going to take the awareness to keep going? I mean, Zach de Brat was wearing your lettuce dress and you were saying people want to be me. I mean, that level of delusion, that's seriously. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Susan. That is a next level delusion. It really is. Thank you, Susan, love. Next level. Zach didn't want to be you, honey. Thank you, Gigi. And do you know what? It makes me cringe when I see people taking the mick out of you. You're right, Gigi, love. I don't like it. I'm not going to lie. I don't like it. But you are so disingenuous. Hang on, Danielle. Can you send it to one of my mods, please? Exactly. Thank you, Susan. Exactly, Annie. And I don't like that. Not going to lie. I don't. I know people take the mick out of Orion, and I understand why, but I personally don't think it's helpful. Not to that extent. I don't think that's helpful, right? But, and I know my TikToks, I suppose they could be perceived as being a bit naughty in that respect, but they're very much tongue-in-cheek, right? They're not meant to offend more than they are to hold up a mirror. Yeah? Thank you, Carleen, love. But what's it going to take for you to understand that social media, you've done your time on social media, you've had your opportunities, you've blown those opportunities by lying so much, and there is no comeback from what you've done whilst you're still on here and not changing. You said that you were no longer responding to drama. Hiya, Carly. No longer responding to drama. Within 24 hours, you were responding to drama. You sit there and say, I'm going to be professional and I'm going to do this. And the whole awareness community, if not the most of TikTok, roll their eyes and go, no, you're not. Because you cannot help yourself. It absolutely creates the dramas. Absolutely. So I don't know whether it's going to be me you crash out about, or one of the other awareness pages, but one of our names will be in your mouth later and you'll be slating us. Which is fine. You have absolutely every right. Oh, I roll my eyes out loud, Dan, seriously. Thank you, Elise. But until you remove yourself from social media and get some help, because I do genuinely believe you need it. You need help. You need help coming off social media because I think you're addicted. Right? You need help to learn when you're lying, because I think it's second nature to you now, and I don't think you always know you're doing it. Thank you, Mr. Legaff. I totally agree, Thomas. I genuinely think you don't know you're doing it half the time. Social media is an addiction for a lot of people. There is no way they're on mirtazapine. Absolutely not. Because let me tell you, Orion, and I can 100% attest to this, if you were on mirtazapine, your sleep routine would be fine. Right? Absolutely fine. I think lying is all they know, and I think the line between reality and lying is so blurred now that I don't think he always knows when he's doing it. Oh, people with ADHD, I tend to find are the most truthful. Finley, do you know, it was one of the reasons I was put on it, was because my sleep was absolutely effed all over the shop. It was. Very, no filter. Which is why I love them. I'd rather be told... Thank you for the treasure box, Mr. Leo. I'd rather be told straight than be lied to. I'd take that. Oh, bless you, darling. I will put it on YouTube, yes. I will put it on YouTube. Do you know, that's the funny thing with me, Kazzy? Initially, I had no appetite, right? And I was put on the mirtazapine for sleep and to start eating again. And it worked for about, I don't know, I want to say a couple of months. And now I've got no appetite again. And I've gone up on them. So I don't know whether going up on them has caused me to feel less hungry. It's weird. I don't know. I'll have to speak to a medical person. Oh, Tracy, yeah. It's when you take them and then someone starts a conversation with you and you can feel yourself zoning out. Thank you, Serafina. Sorry for my wheezing. It's all tree related. There's nothing wrong with me. Apart from pollen. Pollen hates me. Absolutely hates me. Tree pollen specifically, which is a joy, especially when you live in one of the most rurified areas in Scotland, where there's nothing but trees, and I don't think they discern that there's not. Thank you, sober bipolar. I don't think there is a particular tree pollen that loves me more. I think they all love me. And I wish they'd stop. Oh, bless you, Victoria. I'm all right with long grass. Long grass all day, every day. Trees, nah. I didn't watch it, Sam. I didn't know it was on. Probably took a metazapine. Oh, the rugs will absolutely play havoc with the system. Thank you, Daisy, love. Thank you, Cat. 2 years, Cat. Oh, you'll not get that back, love. So sorry. Oh, do you know when they say, oh, it's going to be a nice sort of cool day today, low pollen count, and my eyes and my throat are going, low pollen, my ass. Shut up. Drinking, yeah. I don't know where Orion is on his antidepressants, to be fair. Whether he's on them or off them or what, I have no idea. Pretty certain I'm not caring that much, to be fair. Unless they crop up as an excuse for the behaviour. Sorry. Oh dear. They make you feel like that, don't they, Laura? They really do. Which is really not helpful at all. Oh, you're joking me. Sambuca shots. Orion. Take your damn cat to be spayed. Right? I say this for your benefit as well as the cat's. Because your cat is going to come into season in the room that you're in with the neighbours you say you don't have, and it's going to drive everybody up the wall, including your cat, who, I might add, is my only concern. If you can afford to go out and do shots of Sambuca, you can afford to put money aside to take your cat to be spayed. Stop making excuses. Spay Mew. Oh, Victoria, at this point, I think we all would. In a room which doesn't appear to have the window open, with aerosols, perfumed aerosols and plugins. It is not a £400 to get the cat spayed. It's not £400. Most vets have a veterinary plan or a club that you can join, which costs, I don't know, anywhere from $19.99 up, that you pay monthly, and it includes the basics. Chips, microchips, vaccinations, 1-year checks, kennel cough, spaying, neutering. There is no good reason why you haven't had that cat spayed. It doesn't matter whether the cat is an indoor cat. Do you understand? It's got fuck all to do with whether the cat goes outside or not, and everything to do with their health, their physical health. Right? There are some cat cancers that come because you don't get them spayed. Oh. It's a very unpleasant thing for the cat to go through, do you understand? Spaying is not a legal requirement, unfortunately. Microchipping is, and vaccines are, but not spaying. But your cat is going to go into heat, and it's going to be hell for everybody, and you won't be able to get that cat spayed until after your cat comes off heat for at least 3 weeks. No. To the best of our knowledge, no. So it doesn't matter whether your cat is an indoor cat. You are causing them potential health problems further down the line by not getting the cat spayed. Oh, I don't believe anything Orion says, Jay. Right? So if you can afford to drink, you can afford to save. Cats protection. Means tested financial assistance. PDSA, depending on your circumstances, reduced care or free. RSPCA, vouchers. A vet's generally pay monthly. You can pay monthly. Right? There is no reason you cannot get... They make it so there's no reason you cannot get your animal spayed or neutered. There is a specific reason they do that, Orion. Because cats rescues, dog rescues, they are full. So they make it so that you can afford to have it done. Most people get them done at the same time, correct? Right, I have a puppy who is now, hang on, September, August, about 7 to 8 months old of age, who will be spayed in November. Booked. It's booked. And the only reason she's being spayed in November is she's being spayed at the same time as my other dog. I was. Right? So we're having them done together. Because if you're not going to have kittens or puppies with that animal, then getting them spayed or neutered is the kindest thing to do for their long-term health. Unless, of course, Orion, you have no intention of keeping Mew, in which case, surrender her. Okay? Just surrender her. Temporarily, if necessary. I'm sure there are places that will take the cat temporarily. The cat can go to a foster carer whilst your living situation is up in the air. Yeah, I pay $24.99 for my dog, and everything is included in that. Absolutely everything. All the basics are included. You even get 10% off vet consultations should you need them. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse, Ryan. Sort the cat out. I absolutely... Is it not law to microchip a cat as well? I thought it was law to microchip a cat. I thought microchips were legally binding. Because if it's not, it should be. There should be no reason. It's the law now. Good. Because in my opinion, when Orion got Mew, I think Mew was microchipped and had their first injections, which was why Orion had the vaccination card for Mew, if anyone can remember. Hiya, Sophie, love. I was angry. It's out my system now. Thank you, Sophie. Which is why I think Mew had the vaccination card. But now, I think you didn't take them to their second vaccination, which means your cat is now not vaccinated. Oh, bless you, Victoria. So, in my opinion, Mew came to you microchipped and vaccinated, the first lot of vaccinations, which is standard. I'll tell you in a minute, Soph. Which is standard. And I don't think you took them to their second vaccinations, and I think they're not vaccinated now. Because once you miss the second one, you may as well not have bothered. Thank you, TikToker. So the reason I came live, Sophie, is because they have to start them again, 100%, yes. The reason I came live was because Orion said either yesterday or today, I don't know which day it was. Oh, bless you, but at least you did, Sophie. You did the right thing. You did the responsible thing. Orion came live and said that their squeaks was stimming, right? But they were involuntary. You're like the most pet owners, Sophie. We always put our pets before ourselves, don't we? Right? So stims can't be involuntary. Stims can be unconscious so that you don't know you're doing it, because neurodivergent and neurotypical people stim. But you can't have an involuntary stim, right? So the stim that Orion is referring to is the squeak with that neck twitch, where they jut their chin out. So if you looked at that, you would call that a tick. Now, Orion can't afford to call that a tick because he's been called out by the Tourette's community before. And very well, may I add. So I've come on to explain the difference between stimming and ticks, what stimming does and what ticks do. And I've done it because I have an ADHD stepchild who stims but doesn't tick. But I've got people that I know who I'm really good friends with who have members of family in the Tourette's community, and they are so angry. So beyond angry because they live with people with Tourette's. And to see Orion sitting there saying, "Thank you, Sonia, I have stims," and then describing them and doing them as ticks, and then fooling the community that they're in by saying they're not ticks, they're stims, just blew my mind today. And I am still so angry. Oh, Daniel, don't. We've already had potential liver failure. No, go back to bed, darling. I'm not sure whether I'll inflict myself on everybody twice, but I might do. I was so angry. Correct. Thank you, Lucy. I forgot to mention that. Thank you. I appreciate you for saying that. You can't be diagnosed with a stim. So you are trying to say you've got tics without saying you've got tics. And I am telling you, Orion, you don't have tics. You would never be diagnosed with tics because you don't have them. They are involuntary and they would happen all the time. And if they were stims, given your range of emotions, they would be happening all the time. So there is no way that you've got stims or tics. So stop it. I don't know, Hannah. I don't know. I believe that Shane was due to go to his solicitors today, and that the police would support action taken by Shane. I know, Elise, I know it's not an easy thing to be diagnosed with. Neurotypical people can stop stimming, but most people don't know they're stimming. Hiya, Vicky. Right? But you don't have either. You can't be diagnosed with stims. Honest to God, Orion, stop it. Just stop it. Right? Just stop. You are hurting communities, but what you don't seem to understand is the damage you're doing to yourself. This digital footprint of yours is going to overwhelm you at some point. Thank you, Vicky. Oh, I totally agree, Mama Kiki. And there is a reason it's coming. No, it's all right. Example of a stim. Tapping your fingers, playing with your hair, bouncing off your, when you've got your legs crossed, bouncing your knee, tapping a bottle, playing with a pen, things that you don't know you're doing. Some people click their fingers, they don't know they're doing it. Oh, right, Michelle. Yeah, clap hands, gift big, and be under 16. There you go. That's what you got to do. Oh, bless you, Vicky. You got the diagnosis, sweet. How are you doing? It's a lot to process, isn't it? A lot to process. But listen, you're still you. Okay? Thank you, Michelle, love. So stop doing it. Orion, you got to stop doing it. I didn't chuck you anywhere, Daisy. It wasn't me. Oh, and that's the other thing, Orion. Even if you got an ADHD diagnosis, which you're not going to get, can I just put that out there? You're not going to get it. Just because you have ADHD doesn't automatically mean you'll get medication. That's the other thing I want to say to you. And let me tell you something else so that you're prepared. Even if you were entitled to medication, you've got to go on a waiting list. So don't even come and say you've been diagnosed with ADHD, BS, and then say you're getting prescription for tablets for it. Because again, BS. Don't even, thank you, Hol, do not even run with that. Right? It is, Sophie. So don't run with that. Exactly, Vicky. IBS can be horrendous. Yeah. But just because you've got an ADHD diagnosis doesn't mean you're going to get meds. But you might be put on a waiting list of meds, but you don't get a prescription. Do you understand? So just stop. Orion, you're lying and you're not doing it well. You're not. Do you know what? You would never be a professional con artist. That's for sure, because you fail at the first hurdle. You think if you say it often enough and loudly enough, people will believe you, and the opposite is true. Bless you, Bex. The opposite is true. The louder you say it and the more often you say it, the less we believe you. Do you understand? I'm early, yes, Toby family. I'm absolutely fine. I've just got so normally Orion doesn't get under my skin because I can keep it, with your awareness, you've got to keep it at arm's length. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise your mental health would be in the toilet. But today, it really got to me. It's the stimming and the tics with Orion. I stim involuntarily. No, you don't. No, you don't. So now he's going to come on later and say, well, I didn't mean involuntarily. I meant unconsciously. You didn't, Orion. You would know exactly what you meant. Because a lot of people with medical conditions, such as the ones you claim to have, end up explaining it to people all the time. And so the language they use is very carefully chosen. The words they use are carefully chosen to explain themselves. I have a condition that is not widely known about. It isn't rare, but it is not wild. And I end up having to explain it to people with medical degrees and years of practice, right? So I'm very careful what I say. We become our own advocates, right? We become our own champions when it comes to our health conditions. So you would not say involuntarily and get it confused with unconsciously. It wouldn't happen, right? And the second somebody says to you in the chat, oh, I do that and I'm autistic. Yes, you see, you latch onto it as validation. Crazy. But you would be incredibly careful, hi Miss 89, in what you were saying. The language you used would be very careful. Thank you, Miss 89. Right? You don't make mistakes like that. You don't say, oh, well, I meant, like saying I stim, I don't tick, but then presenting as ticking, not stimming. I see you, Orion. Anyway, I'm going to go and download this live and I'll pop it up on YouTube for everyone to pick apart and, screen record and slag me off later. But yeah, thank you for coming on and saying hi when I'm not normally on at this point. Much appreciated. And I may or may not see you later, depending on whether I lose my voice or not at this point. I'm going to go and have a look now, so I'll have a look now. Everybody take care. Go and get your dinners. Take care, everybody.